Hi guys, this is Val from valkayink, and we are doing another 12 days of anime. I hope you guys aren't sick of my face. I'm sorry, I'm going to try to insert pictures and clips to make these videos fun, but it's time to talk about my favorite anime. I often get this question since I run a channel where I talk about a lot of anime merch and goods and shows. That's the number one thing I get asked, my favorite anime. I'm going to start this one off with a little story because it relates. As weird as it is. My parents actually have a photograph of me from kindergarten, and it's this weird little picture. It's in the back of a photo album where there's all these kindergartner kids, and then I'm in the background by myself reading something. I just have a book open and I'm literally just looking at the pictures. And we all laugh at that picture because it's so silly. Like, clearly I am such a little homebody that I didn't even want to interact with other kids when I was that young. It's not that I'm a mean person, I was just a very introverted person, which is totally normal. When I started getting more and more into anime and manga, I picked up a magazine. This magazine was called Animerica. I still have some issues of it in my closet somewhere. The first time I picked up this magazine, I was flipping through it and there was a comic in the background. And I said, oh my god, this is familiar. I remember this. I don't know what it is. In that old kindergarten picture of me holding a book and just staring at pictures is an issue of Galaxy Express 3-9. Why that was even around me at that age, I have no idea. Clearly it was in Japanese and I wasn't reading it, I just liked the art. Seeing it again years later was very startling. So of course I started reading it. I would pick up the issues of Animerica, I would look up the chapters online, and I read Galaxy Express 3-9 and I really loved the story. Moving on forward in my life, I also looked up the episodes and I watched them online as well and really liked the anime series. This was just a weird little portion of my life back in middle school, early high school that I didn't think about for a long time until college. When I was in college, I lived in a dorm and I had a lot of free time once my finals were done. And for some reason, I just remembered Galaxy Express 3-9. And so in college, I sat down and rewatched the entire series for about 2 weeks, and I loved it. It's such a strange little series, and I've never found anyone else that really likes it the way I do, at least in my day-to-day life. But I adore this anime and manga so much. What makes this series so compelling to me is that it is an incredible coming-of-age story, and it's one of the strongest openings I've ever seen to an anime or a manga anywhere. Basically, the story revolves around Tetsuo, who is this 10-year-old boy. He is a young human in this future Earth, and Earth is in this strange place where it is so degraded and the class system is so messed up that all of the rich people of the world have bought mechanical bodies, downloaded themselves into these mechanical bodies, and they basically live lives where they cannot die, but they also cannot feel or love the way they used to when they were human. And the rest of the world is the poverty-stricken, still humans who are living in filth and in the streets and in the cold. And the story opens up where Tetsuo is with his mother, and he's dreaming about getting a mechanical body so that he can live forever. At that time, that's when Tetsuo's mother is hunted down by Count Mecha, who, for sport, likes to hunt humans. And she's brutally murdered, stuffed, and mounted on his wall. Tetsuo, of course, takes revenge, gets his hands on a weapon, and destroys all of the mechanical bodies because, sure, you might not die of an illness if you're mechanical, but a 10-year-old can mess up a computer pretty bad. After this, Tetsuo doesn't know what to do with his life. He's this young child lost in this world, and this woman who looks eerily like his mother goes by the name of Mattel, and she says, I have a ticket. We can go on to the Galaxy Express 3-9. It is a train that will take you to the end of the universe where you can have a mechanical body for free. And that's where the story starts. It is incredibly brutal, it is incredibly beautiful, and it is so thoughtful and thought-provoking. It is just one of my absolute favorite series. The anime was done back in 1978, and so many of the ideas and so many of the worlds that Tetsuo visits throughout the universe are so ahead of their time. They just seem so revolutionary to me that such an old anime brought in so many unique places and ideas. The variety of worlds that Tetsuo visits and the lessons he learns from them are incredible. One thing that you kind of see in a lot of kids shows is a lot of things are dumbed down, and they kind of get boiled down into, if you do good things will happen. When you watch Galaxy Express 39, Tetsuo goes through so many ordeals where he might do the right thing, he might do the wrong thing, and he never knows what kind of outcome he'll get. Sometimes Tetsuo does things absolutely right and everything is still messed up. And it's a lot of life lessons that I feel like people learn when they get older, but not through a kid's show. Sometimes Tetsuo reaches a planet and he says to Maytel, well, these people shouldn't be fighting, there shouldn't be a war here. And Maytel says, but they've been fighting for hundreds of years, how do you stop it? And he's Tetsuo, he's 10, he doesn't know. There are times that are very poignant in the series where Tetsuo is lost somewhere and something happens. For example, Tetsuo is lost at this one point where there's a world full of mini planets that have a lot of gravity, so people bounce between these little planets. He gets his teeth broken. In the manga, it's awful. They fall out and he's bleeding and he's in a lot of pain. In the anime, they're just all cracked. And he has this horrible feeling of, I'm traveling, I'm lost, I'm hurt, and I don't know how to fix the situation. The fear of getting hurt while traveling isn't generally a feeling you see in a lot of kids shows. He eventually gets help, it's okay. He goes to a planet of obsessed people where all they do is work on the one thing they want to do. And Tetsuo says, there should be more to life than this. And Maytel says, yeah, but it's their life and they get to do what they want. Tetsuo goes to a planet of prehistoric beings where he meets dinosaurs and actually gets to talk to them. Tetsuo goes to another planet of homeless people. And I think it's called the Planet of Poverty, and they're begging for money from him because he's a rich person coming off the train. And he says, what's wrong with you people? Go get jobs. And Maytel says, look around. They don't have anything. They can't just go get jobs. And it kind of points out how we can say things in a situation, but we don't know everything about the situation. There's also this whole side plot to the story where Maytel is doing something shady. Not everyone will go out of their way to give a very expensive ticket to a child without some sort of dark backstory. And as the series goes on, you don't know exactly what's going on. This is a very long series. Again, he's going through the universe. He meets all sorts of different people, different walks of life, different ideas and philosophies. And there is a big climax at the end of the series as to what the last planet is and what Maytel's ultimate goal was. I don't want to spoil it, but you can watch the entire series for free on Crunchyroll. The main problem with this series is it's old. It's from 1978. It didn't have the best budget, and the animation is janky. Also, throw on top of that, not everyone likes the Leiji art style. Leiji Matsumoto is an amazing artist. He's done so many different series that are all very heartfelt, but he's not claimed to be the best artist. He really wanted to demonstrate that even if you're not the best artist, you can make an amazing story, which I absolutely believe. Things like Galaxy Express, Captain Harlock, the Galaxy Railways is on my mind because I just recently watched that. But, you know, there's so many. Battleship Yamamoto, that's the one I was thinking of. They're really, really well written. They're just fun and enjoyable. It's a really clever little show that I can see why it was such a big hit in its time. I can see why so many Japanese people just fell in love with it and why it's still remembered today. But it's absolutely one of my personal favorites. Every year I want to rewatch it and screen cap just weird things out of it. It feels like a little Star Wars, a little fairy tale, a little like Kino's Journey. It just has a lot going on that I've always fallen in love with. And maybe it's from coincidence. Maybe it's just because I saw an image when I was really young and felt connected to it. Or maybe it's just because there's some everlasting factor in the anime itself. I don't know, all I know is it is one of my absolute favorites. I collect a lot of stuff from it. That's why sometimes you'll see trading figures in the backgrounds of my video, or a poster, or, you know, even the animation cell that I have from it here or there. I wanted to share that with you guys so you can know where I'm coming from for the anime that I like.